So I'm Seth and I'm the CEO and founder of DC Storm. It's not a big sales pitch, I just thought I'd set the tone of who we are and what Actionable Insight does. So we at DC Storm, we provide and deliver a proposition called Measure Success. And Measure Success is about turning big data, big marketing data into a valuable resource to drive marketing decisions and trading. We work with dozens of large retail brands. We've been around quite a long time. And a couple of years ago, we decided to start running Actionable Insight events to start sharing our experiences and our knowledge with the industry, with their clients and prospects. And the whole point of the Actionable Insight events and today's event is to share with you some experience that we've gained over the last few years in multi-channel, multi-device retail, and the challenges that particularly represents, and how you might want to address those using real-life case studies. So just to set the scene, I don't know if anybody watched Robert Peston Goes Shopping a few weeks ago. A really good TV programme, really looking at the growth of retail within the UK and how UK retail has been so successful, and particularly how Tesco's has been so successful. And the Tesco's chairman credits a large portion of their success down to how they understand their customer better than their competition understands their customer. And they've managed to do that through a combination of Clubcard and the appointment of dunnhumby. And the parallels of what they did 15 years ago with the Clubcard and what challenge we now are presented with multi-channel, multi-device retail are very, very strong. The Clubcard, for the first time, enabled Tesco's to, instead of thinking about their transactions as single transactions, single shopping baskets, it enabled them to be able to join their customers up. And I'd start to understand how frequently their customers started coming to the shop, what they bought, how the family was constructed, what the demographic of the family was, whether somebody was pregnant, whether they had children. They suddenly knew a huge amount about their customer base, and they could start to leverage that data to get closer to their customer, to start promoting and selling products which their customers wanted more than, and at price point that they knew better than their competition did. The two stats on the right-hand side, so the House of Fraser stat, that 60% of users that purchased more than once did so across multiple devices. They know that because of the work that we've done with them in joining up the multi-device. And we'll be going through that later today. But that was even a shocking stat for us. I thought 60% is absolutely huge. And if you think about that disruption, if you can't join those customers together, and everyone thinks that the digital marketing has made all marketing super measurable, and suddenly you actually can't do that because of the multi-device problem, it's a real problem. So 60% is a huge stat. Play.com, 30% of all of their sales use multi-device. Again, I think it's a pretty shocking stat. And again, we've got a case study later on which talks about that. And the final stat here about conversion rates. I guess we're in a really data-rich environment, and there's stats banded around left, right, and centre around the performance of certain channels, and that this is a stat I took out of e-consultancy that 20%, you get 20% increased conversion rate on tablet than you do on desktop, which I think is a complete load of rubbish. I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. If you look at the individual touch points, then maybe, but as soon as you start joining them up and understanding that actually the journey is more complicated, then you should be thinking about, well, what's the conversion rate of my journeys, and what constitutes those journeys. So today we are exploring that multi-device measurement problem, and we've got some really good examples, I think, on how we've tackled it with some of our clients.